people's time is not scalable. Like we only have a certain amount of time. If you can find a way to make a big impact with that small piece of content, and they feel like that 30 seconds was highly valuable for them, they're going to be so much more inclined to share that piece of content, and your content will have a great chance of going viral.
Today, Molner's Table is sponsored by Life is Good, and I love their t-shirts, and as Katie will tell you, I wear them all the time. But beyond apparel, it's a brand that stands for things that we can all get behind: optimism, kindness, and gratitude. So welcome Life is Good, and check out all their stuff at lifeisgood.com. I'm excited to welcome our first pair to Molner's Table, Collins and Devan Key. Collins is 24 and his brother Devan is 22. Together, they have a YouTube channel with more than 22 million subscribers. That's roughly 22 million more than I have. They've gotten a lot of attention from some big name sponsors, including AT&T and General Mills. And I'm thrilled to have them here. Collins and Devan, thanks for being here today. There they are.
Here we are.
You're the first guest I've ever had whose combined age is under my age. We like to start off Molner's Table with a speed round.
Exactly.
All right. Twizzlers or M&Ms?
M&Ms.
M&Ms.
All right. TikTok or YouTube?
Both.
Yeah, both. I mean, maybe one even like throw like Snapchat in there too, you know?
Favorite movie?
Gotta say Star Wars.
I gotta say Inception.
Ooh.
Something about your brother that annoys you?
He is really good at getting very sticky nicknames.
Yeah. I gotta say it's the fact that he can pick up anything so fast, and like I'm a slower learner, so he just picks it up and is just able, he like was riding a skateboard. He was so fast and I was just falling. Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Something about you that would surprise your fans?
Ooh, we do vocal warm-ups before every interview and before like every thing that we do. So we always look really goofy.
I would say probably something that surprises them is that we work a lot, but then when we play, like we'll go to like Six Flags and ride roller coasters till 2 a.m.
A person that inspires you?
Kevin Feige.
Elon Musk.
Well, how about this one? A celebrity crush?
Oh boy. You made me blush. I don't know, probably like Taylor Hill. She's pretty stunning.
I would say Margot Robbie.
If someone were to play you in a movie, who would you cast to play you?
This guy.
Oh man, if I had a choice, I would say like Jim Carrey.
A famous person, Devan, you'd like to meet?
Bob Iger.
Katie, right now, interviewing Bob Iger on his memoir. So,
No way. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
if YouTube didn't exist, what's a profession you might have pursued?
Oh, magic for sure. Like that's what I was doing actually even like before YouTube.
And it'd be artist for me. So yeah, I was a painter and everything before this.
And the last question, a superpower you wish you had?
Either the power to have every power I want at any time, or if I'm not doing the cheap answer, I would say the ability to switch off my brain at any time, because I would save a lot of hours of sleep.
I think like the ability to read minds, like the more, I don't know, the older I've gotten, the more that seems like it'd be like valuable in like negotiations and just kind of in life in general, just to like navigate things.
I'm old school. I go with flying. I like to ask my guests in true Life is Good fashion. Tell us why your life is good.
I think family, to be honest. I absolutely love the time that we spend together, and especially with everything that's going on in the world, it really kind of brings us all closer together, and we find out new things about each other, even though we've been living together all of our lives pretty much. So yeah, I'd say family is something that's great.
The ability to basically do what I love to do every single day, and it's kind of a pinch yourself thing where yeah, it gets intense when you're working like a 30-hour day trying to get a video done, but then you look at it and you go, I'm making videos for the internet. Like it's so much fun and it's such a blast. And I think that the fact that we've been able to find a way to take this thing that we love to do and then actually do it as a business, I think that to me is just, in my opinion, it doesn't get better than that.
Tell us a little bit about how do you put together 22 million subscribers, and what sort of stuff are you guys doing on these videos?
Yeah. Basically, the idea behind it is first and foremost collaborating with the fans to create really fun, engaging content that they want to watch. And so a lot of it's actually like taking inspiration from their comments. So for example, we turn our backyard into a giant Orbeez obstacle course. We fill our pool with 10,000 pounds of slime. We recently just did a massive game of like a game show in like a 10,000 foot studio space. So it really is kind of all over the board in terms of what the content is, but it's really just about having like a really fun, really good time in a positive way. So the humor is never at the expense of the other people, and it's really just kind of an escape for our fans. They can come, they can watch these crazy, insane videos and connect with a community of people who's also into the same stuff.
Talk to me a little bit about your business model.
So the biggest thing that we look at whenever it comes to working with a brand is, first and foremost, we're very selective with the brands we work with. And the reason is because we want to offer as much value to that brand as possible. And for us, like when it comes to our content strategy, and to talk kind of about the business model more, what we focus on is quality over quantity. Where I think a lot of people in our space are just focused on putting out a lot of content very rapidly, where what we look at is that we want to make sure that we put out the best content we possibly can, even if it's at a much slower cadence. So we only publish about between 2 to 4 videos a month, where the majority of people in our space are doing like 3 videos a week.
On multiple channels.
But what we look at is that if we really have this time that our fans are coming to watch our content, we want it to be the best experience possible.
When you're making these videos, do you have a sense like, oh, this is going to be a big winner?
We've been able to figure out some kind of core principles that we believe help the content perform well. And so whenever we're creating the content, we usually have a pretty good idea of kind of how it's going to perform. Like, for example, we literally just started on TikTok a few months ago, and within one of our first few videos, a video on Devan's account hit 130 million views. It really just comes down to, I think, in the simplest sense, just understanding the audience and just always seeking to offer as much value to them as possible with the content.
Devan, tell me a little bit about family life.
Our parents are the best. They were very, very active in making sure that we had the right values growing up. And so they enrolled us in a lot of different courses and classes, like, martial arts and everything as well, where we learned a lot of, respect and professional character, work ethic. So for us, it was a blast. We started Shakespeare when we were 4, so we were doing plays.
I can do a little Macbeth if you want. Act 1, Scene 7.
Oh!
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly.
So our parents were very focused on making sure that was very passion-led. So we had a lot of time. I was doing drawing and painting at that time as well. Yep. Collins found the art form of magic early on, was enrolled into the Magic Castle as well, was like the youngest junior member there. So it was great.
Well, let's pick up on the magic, because I actually missed America's Got Talent, but in doing my research for this interview, I went back and watched it, and you were 16 years old, but your first performance was pretty incredible, up-close magic trick that you performed in front of Howard Stern and Howie Mandel and Mel B and Heidi Klum.
That was a crazy experience, and I think that you look at kind of a couple like really key pivotal moments in your life. I think that was, looking back, like that was definitely for me like a really kind of crazy moment. And that whole experience of America's Got Talent, even the ability to go down to the judges table and do close-up magic, I was the first magician to ever kind of bring close-up magic to America's Got Talent.
The trick where you had Heidi Klum and Mel B.
Yep.
Hold the card. And I thought, that was a lot of confidence that you had.
And the amount of levels of approval it would have to go through was insane.
What has been a professional highlight for each of you?
I have to say off the bat, every day is a highlight. Like, we love what we do so much. It's insane. And like, even right now, what we're doing is we're having our first ever product line out, which is insane, like a dream come true.
It was always a dream of mine from like a magic standpoint and all that, to be able to do like performances at large venues. And I had the opportunity to tour with Demi Lovato. So got to open up for her, and that was like 10 to 15,000 people a night in arenas across the US. And like, that was pretty surreal.
What's the best advice you've received in your career early on, and who offered it to you?
For me, it was our dad, who said, look, you're allowed to be an artist, just not allowed to be a starving artist. So you can find this thing you're passionate about, but find a way to build a business around and build an infrastructure around it.
They really instilled the value of making sure that you're constantly giving and focusing on what you're giving and not what you're getting. So no matter what we did, it was always, we had a very specific intention going into it.
And maybe similarly, what advice would you offer to others?
For me, a piece of advice that's always helped me is this too shall pass, because there's always great times, there's always, some bad times.
I think for me, it's really just finding what it is you're passionate about, and then figuring out a way to be able to turn it into a business so we can continue doing it.
How do you see your business evolving over the next few years?
Our goal is just to remain always on the cutting edge of what's going on.
I'm a big fan. I've enjoyed watching your stuff and going back and looking at it again. I also love your magic. I'd say don't give up on that too.
Oh no, and you may be seeing the magic make a resurgence coming up here as well.
I hope so. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
And good luck on everything you're doing in the future. And thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.